Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Couch Potatoes. This is episode 89, which is, hey, we're close to 100.
89?
Yeah, dude, getting
Damn.
closer and closer. Episode 89. Today's just Bruce and I, you know, no guests. Stay tuned. We have a great guest coming next week. But yeah, we got a couple things to talk about today. Some things we're scouring through the medias of social. Also, if you notice Bruce looking out, straight forward, not past the camera, he's worried about a group of hoodlums that may or may not attack him with baseball bats.
That
So
are
stay
looking for
tuned.
me.
Yeah, they're looking for him. Stay tuned. You might see some fun action. Um, but yeah, no. But I know, I do want to acknowledge this because me and Bruce had a quick pre-show conversation about a certain topic. Um, because I just don't want this to be a 30-minute rant of anger. I want it to be how would you describe it? A productive conversation.
Yeah. You want to switch it up.
Um, yeah, I want to make sure
Like,
it's like I'm not just ranting or Bruce just kind of like, man, this guy's gonna go off. I shouldn't say anything. I should stay quiet. Or he too will hit me with a baseball bat. Um, but yeah, no, and this is more in reference of when did it occur, Bruce?
I
Mm,
don't know the specific date, but I think it was this week, I believe.
yeah,
Could be
so
wrong.
the tragic shooting of a 13-year-old um, at the hands of a police officer. So I as much as I do want to discuss that, and I told Bruce, and totally again, I'm all jokes aside, I don't want it to be just a rant. Like, cause recently we did an episode in terms of like a conversation on social injustice and whatnot, and yeah, it was not a good. it just did not turn out good. It was like a freaking reprisal of our first episode. Mm, ah, except there was no pizza being eaten. That's the only difference, and no laughs either. Really. So, like we said, our goal is to give you quality content, but more importantly, uh, a quality conversation that's productive, something that you can take from, and it not just being uh, not nonsense, but just like riffing when it's a conversation that should be thoroughly, thought out and discussed beforehand. So yeah, so in case you're listening, you're like, dude, why didn't you talk about this and that? It's not that we don't want to. At least I know for me personally, it's more of like I like to take my time to kind of digest and think out my words, because if not, it's gonna be a freaking like what's it called? Like another slam poetry session. Um, and I don't want it to be too much like that. That being said, in relation to that, as always, we've always told you guys stay informed, be aware, um, and yeah, just have productive conversations. Moving on, uh, tough transition. This man's face. It's okay, dude. They'll get there soon. Watch. But no, yeah. So speaking of societal issues, there is one thing that has been. I think it's for a long time. It's been a known thing, and that is the existence of individuals who may be labeled as anti-vaxxers. Right, that's a thing. Uh, Me personally, I got my first uh vaccine at the age of 4. No, I'm saying no. I got my first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine a couple days ago, or has it's already been a week. No, it's crazy.
Are you
No,
forgetting?
yeah,
Side
hey,
effect?
uh, but no, I'm
Jokes,
making my
jokes,
appointment
jokes.
today for the second dose. Whatever Bruce says, he may or may not be an anti-vaxxer. Moving on though, but
Bro.
Bruce, how familiar are you with the anti-vaxxer movement?
Uh, I mean, it's not just with the COVID-19 vaccine. I know that's a fact. Uh,
Hmm.
it's most vaccinations, bro. Um, You hear things. You hear people saying that getting a vaccine from a certain type of thing could you know uh, cause certain like defects
A-
or
ailments.
yeah. So I mean, I've heard of it. Most of my life. Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know. I want to say it's crazy, but there's people who really believe that you know things could cause that, and so I don't want to. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know what to say about that.
It's okay, bro.
Does it
You
anger
can hurt
me?
people's feelings.
Yeah, does it anger me? Maybe a little bit. With certain things. For example, the whole COVID-19 thing. People not wanting to get the vaccine. I'm like, come on, bro, just do it. Do it. You're not trying to wear a mask and just get the fucking vaccine. At least do that. Um, but yeah, no. In relation to your question, yes, that's pretty much what I know about the anti vaccine. What they called? Anti
Anti-vaxxers. I think that's the
anti
official
vaxxers.
title.
I was gonna say anti vacciners, but yeah, that makes more sense.
Anti-vaccines. No.
But yeah, bro.
Oh no, no. You were gonna say something? No.
No,
Okay.
no, no.
Look, I know
I'm
you're
not trying.
worried.
I'm not trying to rant like you, bro.
Look, look, I know that, and I know you're also worried about the kids with the bats, but don't worry, you're gonna be okay, man. We're watching. I mean, that's all we can do, anyways. Um, but no, yeah, it's been a anti-vax have been around for a minute. Like
Yeah.
here's the thing: if you refuse to take a certain vaccine, okay, you have the choice to do that. I just think it's a little more ridiculous when now you're promoting the concept of like this vaccine will give you AIDS. Like that is like, oh, okay, buddy. And here's the thing, right? Because for example, with this whole COVID-19 situation,
Yeah.
we've seen numerous amount of individuals, especially well, if we're specifying in the U.S., have passed due to the since contracting the vaccine. Um, some of us, including the team and Cast Potatoes, have had, whether it's a family or in this case Bruce has shared a story about having the vaccines, and his brother as well has come on the show and talked about it. So it's a real thing. And obviously other people who are like, whoa, I don't know, maybe I have it or I'm asymptomatic. Obviously there are cases of people who are asymptomatic, people who
Yeah.
didn't really feel much. Obviously, yeah, that happens because it varies based on an individual's health, how healthy you are, and if you have any prior ailments. But Um, so okay, first that this is real. The virus is real. I've had also family members close family members who've contracted it, who have been, borderline, oh no, not borderline, have been, what's it called, intubated or
Oh, incubated, like in
incubated. There you
the
go. So
ICU
yeah,
and everything.
yeah, that whole scenario. So it's real. It's hit close to home, really, because I remember, I would think, it's out in the big cities, especially in like close to home, like, nah, I don't see it coming. And what do you know? Boom, it hits. So yeah, it's very real. And what that's when the problem comes in, because I've seen on social media, right, people have been who've come out as, I'm anti this vaccine, this and that. The one of their first arguments, not all, but some of the first arguments are that this whole virus in itself is a hoax. It's not real. It's not really happening. It's something else entirely. So first, if you're really trying to talk to somebody like that, the conversation ends there, because you can't argue over something that is, I mean, factual. I guess there you go. Factual is the word. So that's one thing. Second, when you're pushing, and I know certain individuals, I don't want to say on that side, but who proclaim the whole anti-vax thing, they're very much like, oh, these certain individuals have agendas, blah 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 blah. So I'm gonna say y'all's agenda tends to be like nobody should take it, nobody should have it, blah blah blah. And Also, I don't know if you heard, but there's this whole thing about like the a vaccine passport or whatever that they're like, how could they do this? Dystopia,
Yeah,
Big
yeah, that
Brother.
yeah, that they don't let people travel, right? If they don't have the vaccine.
Yeah,
It's common sense. It's like, come on,
it's like you when you
you're
go
not trying
to
to
a
pass it.
country, you have to have certain vaccines anyways. This is just like another check on the
It's
box.
just
Like
a
it's
new one.
another
Yeah,
thing.
it's just yeah,
It's
it's
just
just something
another
they
one.
added. Yeah,
It's like I want to go to England, but I can't because like
they're making me
man,
text take the
they're
vaccine.
making me yeah, like dog, man. Like or like I hate when like for example, like let's say my case, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna be able to travel the world because I don't want to take this vaccine. This man, you know you ain't going nowhere. Why are you lying, bro? You ain't gotta do all that. You know, and and then there's another argument, right? That oh the vaccine doesn't work. Or oh no, I saw this recently. And I want to put the video up, but in terms of like copyright and stuff, I'm still not
Yeah,
too
yeah, yeah,
sure
yeah.
how that works. But the gist of the argument, one of this person individual's arguments was, oh, if you guys are so much about the vaccine, um, and it works, what's it called? Why are you guys so freaking rampant on everybody else getting it? Is it not supposed to work? Like essentially saying that if it works, then why does everybody need it? You guys should be
Yeah,
okay,
just like a
right?
few people, and like it should be covered for the people. So stupid.
So my argument to that, and shout out to H3 Ethan Klein. If you haven't seen that podcast show, it's amazing. Follow him. Shout out to Teddy Fresh as well. Um, his argument, and I'm gonna reiterate, or I'm gonna try to reiterate it, is that like, okay, first off, there's one misconception that people think once you get the vaccine, you can't get the virus again. No, you know you can still be infected. Also, if I'm speaking on my butt and I'm wrong, this is based on what I've read. I've tried to do some research, not just freaking totally go ranting. It's like what I've read. You can still get infected, but the vaccine is meant to kind of
Protect
keep the
you.
symptoms chill. Yeah, it's not gonna
Yeah,
kill you, or at least
yeah,
you're on the healthier side and of age. You're not too old and wanna like it's not a perfect vaccine, but it's designed to help you. And I
yeah.
think the design of it was really like it was like a wild like they did some like I think it was like RNA, DNA, mRNA. It's like something's
mRNA. Yeah, so
yeah, right?
basically they take the, I think if I understood it correctly too, they took the protein
Hmm.
from the a certain protein from the COVID-19, and they used like the mRNA from that to, so that if it enters our body, it recognizes that certain protein and it knows how to attack it already. So with that vaccine, our body, the reason it goes into like if you do get fever or fatigue, it's because it's fighting that protein off. It's like learning it. It's getting its what it has.
Hmm.
So when if you do get COVID-19, with hopefully nobody does. If you do get it, they already recognize that protein. They're like, oh shit, you've been in this body before. We know how to attack you and take you out
Yeah.
quicker. But yeah, that's what I
Science
read.
talk.
Yes. My science suck, fuck that shit, boom, take it out.
Yeah, boom.
Come around here. Uh, nah, but yeah, nah, that's what I read, and that's what I understood from it. That they did with the mRNA and everything, and that certain protein from COVID-19, and yeah, it's interesting. I was like, huh, that's cool. And I think that's the
Yeah.
first time they do that too, like with a vaccine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
that's
that's the.
cool.
I mean, like I said, if I'm wrong, correct me. But from what I read, I think that's what I said.
Mm.
That's what I understood. But yeah, so we get your Pfizer or Moderna. How do you say it? I want to
I
say
say
it. I want to say
Moderna.
it. I want to say it in Spanish. But I was like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
Moderna.
Yeah,
Say Moderna.
Moderna. Yeah, go get your vaccines. Yeah, if you got
Yeah.
Johnson, hopefully,
Hopefully you will.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no. In all seriousness, I know I'm laughing, but
Yeah,
hopefully you
no,
will.
hopefully. But from what I read too, because I mean, there's a lot of as soon as I heard the news about that, I was like, damn, like I was like, I knew not all these vaccines were good, you know what I'm saying? But then, I did my research because I
Yeah.
just saw on the news how like they're recalling the
Yeah.
vaccine, and then they said that the blood clots, you get like a 0.0008 chance of like getting those
Yeah.
blood clots and stuff compared to not taking the vaccine, and just if you get COVID, then the chances
Yeah.
are higher of you getting blood clots. Or and also I think they compared it to like women taking birth control. Like I think that's also a higher like risk of getting blood clots compared to just getting that vaccine.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, it's not that bad. But again, hopefully, nobody got not a lot of people get affected by that. And if they do, hopefully it's a minimal thing that they could overcome. But
No,
yeah,
and
don't let that scare you from getting the vaccine. That's something I want to say for
yeah.
sure.
No, and I think well, your overall statement I think highlights one very good and important thing. Like taking things at face value. Sometimes you have to do your own research. You got to look into it. Like yeah, I saw the J&J one, right? And I
Yeah,
actually was gonna try to get that, but obviously they closed it down once they were done for the day.
yeah,
So I'm like, wow, like something bad could have happened. But looking into it, it's like I think with any, if I'm correct, if with any vaccine, it really the way it reacts is
depends on your
now
body.
dependent, yeah, on your body, your health. Like if I'm
Yeah.
freaking smoking 30 packs a day, no type of health, like it's just bad, right? Just imagine the worst state of health.
It reminded me. I'm sorry to cut you off, but
No, no,
okay,
you go.
I went to the doctor, right, to get my physical and my blood work done, like I told you.
Yeah.
And so everything was coming back good, and then the doctor looks at me. She's like, "Oh, your liver is really good." She's like, "Do you drink?" I was like, "Yeah, but just a little bit." She's like, "Well, you can hit it harder if you want." I was like, I was like, "My doctor, bro." I was like, "Come on, bro." I was like, "Okay, okay."
You're looking around you. Is this the doctor's office?
She's like, She's like, "You can hit it harder if you want." She's like, "You're young." She's like,
Hit harder if you want it.
I was like, "That's funny, bro." I was, but anyways, yeah. Back to back to your thing, bro. Everybody's body's different. Reacts
Yeah.
to the vaccine different.
Yeah. In this case, if you're like Bruce with a very strong liver, then that could also benefit you as well in your reaction to the vaccines.
Yo.
Um, but yeah, no. So if you can, that's why I always like say like. Also, don't like. That's why when you research, you have to research it from a very objective. If I'm using the word correctly, look. If I go in right, like government controlling brains with
Yeah.
vaccine. Google, if I Google that, or if I even say like, Google's controlled by the government,
Yeah,
like
you
of
would be biased
course
to other sources. Like, oh no, I'm
I'm
looking for
I'm
this.
gonna I'm
Yeah.
gonna find what I'm looking for. But if I go in clean slate, like how would that vaccine affect my body? Just nothing, nothing else with like certain intention and whatnot. You'll find your answers, and then obviously, then once you've done your research, if you still don't feel comfortable, then okay, then this on you. Just obviously make sure that you're much more careful, because the thing is, here's the thing. What have we always said? It's not always about ourselves, but rather those around you. Um, it's like, and I wouldn't be surprised if it gets to a point where certain private venues, like if you are not vaccinated, we can refuse service to you or whatever. Uh, which some people are like dystopia, Big Brother. You could argue that, but at the same time, it's like, if I'm a private business owner, bro, I don't want my shop to be the epicenter of another outbreak. So, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, because that
Uh,
tarnishes everybody's name. Like, oh man, that place, that place
yeah.
is known for
Oh my
that.
gosh. So man, it's just it just all connects. There's just a freaking web of like the same way the virus reacted was if you hang out with a certain amount of people. Like it's, I just want people to be safe. Or I just want to go outside. It's summer. I just want to hang out with my friends. Um, yeah, no,
I
I
can't.
start crying. But no, in all seriousness, it's more towards obviously your health, but primarily to for the care of others around you, especially if you're around older individuals. Um, I think if I'm correct today officially, so if you're watching this, I mean it'll obviously be known as of today the vaccine is open to
The whole
everybody,
public, yes,
the whole
sir.
public. So I
Go get
think
them.
the way, yeah, I think you probably I don't know if appointments are gonna be given like before, like with the phases. But the
Yeah,
fact is that even if you have to wait in line, if you're obviously on time and you're there present, you more than likely will be able to get vaccinated. It's just to take some time out of your day. It's free. Like I don't. It's free. They're not charging you. They're not. like I don't know. It's a little frustrating, but again, it's free. It's available to everybody. Um, Now, if you want to look into is it Pfizer or Moderna that they're giving, that's you can do research. You can look it up. That'd be funny if they actually did name it like that. Moderna.
Modern.
Moderna. That sounds like a beer brand. Oh, I'm
Modern.
thinking of what's Modelo.
Modelo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Modelo time. But no, yeah. If it's available, it's free. Go get vaccinated. Now, again, if you refuse to, you have the choice of doing so. Just don't be that dude who's like, I'm not getting the vaccine. I ain't wearing no mask. I ain't freaking covering my mouth when I cough. I ain't washing my hands. Man, you can suck my fart, buddy. Maybe then you'll want a mask. Cause it's so frustrating, bro. It's not like I said, it's not just for you, it's for the betterment. Like I think part of the obviously one of the main focus of the vaccine is to kind of subdue the COVID virus before I think what I read. If I'm butchering this, I apologize. But essentially, it's they kind of want to subdue it before it gets to the point where it mutates and it becomes as
It's fun.
common as the flu. And it's like just a rotation where it's like, all right, it's in now. It's within those like common cold or flu like diseases where or viruses that you can catch. The only problem is that unlike the flu, which people have passed from, this COVID virus will freaking, as we've seen over and over again, will freaking, if you're not healthy or even like Bruce, I can assume uh, prior to getting the virus, you were of healthy,
Yes, I was healthy,
what's it
bro.
called? Status. There you go.
Thought of what you
Healthy.
said.
So imagine with Bruce, like this guy works out, plays sports, like he
Eat
eats
healthy.
right. Yeah. So eat your greens, friends. And look, and based on what he's told us, and I'm sure what he's talked about on the podcast, it hit him pretty hard. Um, so if you're like me, this little slob, uh, imagine what that virus will do to you or me. So yeah, but things we can avoid that. We can avoid that by And here's the thing: if somebody's like watching this, like, oh, the government is like, first off, we're too small of a channel for the government to even freaking notice what it is that we are. Like, they're not like Couch Potatoes. Put them on the list. Like, they don't know. They probably have in their the NSA has scanned us and they're like, coach, just move on. Yeah, so we're too small to be under government control. So yeah, I don't have to worry about that. Um, but yeah, just like I said, be healthy, be safe, and most importantly, care for others
Yeah, I
around you,
wanna
your
I wanna ask you
family, friends.
something, bro.
Yep.
You can feel free to cut this part out if you want. But it has to do with not has to do with religion. Has to do with
Okay.
religion. And
Yeah,
since
okay. Okay.
I know you're religious, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you know the Bible more than us.
Yeah.
I've read things about like how they think it's the mark of the beast,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
and how the time is coming and stuff, and how
Hmm.
yeah. So what do you think about that? Because that's why a
So
lot of people are saying, "Oh, I'm from what I've seen. Like some people are like that, like don't get the vaccine. It's just the start. Choose God over Satan and
yeah.
things like that."
So I'm glad you brought that up because I have seen it. I have heard it. So it's yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because
Yeah,
I seen it on like especially on some like YouTube channels, especially like the big conspiracy ones.
yeah,
God is with us, but then they're like, AIDS are it's in the vaccine. Like it's like what is going on? So to that, so let me okay. So I'm gonna answer to the best of my ability.
yeah.
Based
Best
on
to
my
your knowledge.
experiences and my knowledge,
Yeah,
yeah, best of my knowledge, according to the word, right, or the Bible, if that were the case, that means so I'm pretty sure I don't, for anybody who's watching this, is gonna be like, what is going on? Yeah, I think it's a valid question because I've heard it before. I've heard that conversation. So I don't know if you heard of like this event of something called the rapture, right?
yeah,
Where a certain group will be, taken from Earth and essentially into heaven. Um, and then the timeline goes, once that happens, then there'll be a certain period. And if I'm correct, then comes the moment where now you can't do anything unless you have the mark of the beast. In this case, people know it as the 666 symbol, or some people like to say that, oh, they're gonna literally like put a little stamp on your hand or something. Or, there's different interpretations, but
Yeah.
essentially that's what it is, right? So in that case, for everybody who's saying like God first, that means we missed the freaking train. We missed the heaven train, the heaven flight. That means we're now in a timeline where that already happened, and now we're in a point where you can't do anything unless you have the vaccine or quote unquote the mark of the beast. Does that make sense? So it's like it's more of like towards the people who say that. If you're really about all putting God first and whatnot, then you should double check your timeline, because then that means you missed the train. If you're holy thou holy, right? If you're like, I'm gonna be faithful and all holy and I'm gonna be perfect, right? Like, you weren't good enough because apparently you missed the train. You would have been gone. Then you wouldn't have to deal with the vaccine or the mark of the beast. That's, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, so essentially, so fully answer, it's like that's ridiculous. I, to my knowledge and to my faith and my understanding of
Yeah.
the word, that I it almost makes me feel ashamed,
Yeah.
because it's like, man, y'all really just making us look bad. It's like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
We already have the AIDS. It's in the vaccine. We don't need to join that group. We don't. We need to stay away from that. Here's the thing. I will say this. You've known my grandparents, right? How involved they are in
Yeah.
the church and whatnot. They got the vaccine. I got the first dose of the vaccine. Now, if we got the mark of the beast, well, time will tell. But from what I feel, from what I know, I feel good. I feel confident. I know there's also been arguments of like, oh, well, if your faith is so strong, then you believe that God will cover you and heal you and keep you safe, right? And you don't need, what I guess you could say it's a fair argument. Or sometimes it'd be like, oh, like I'm afraid, like this. Here's the thing. This is what I did, and this is me being very open, because then I don't really talk about it and whatnot. But I'm glad you asked the question. My personal experience, I went in, mentally, did a prayer. I was like, hopefully all comes out well. I might feel symptom here and there, but let it be, God's will that I come out good, my grandparents come out good. And again, it's not necessarily just for me, but rather for those around me, for the people in my church, for my family, for my friends. So I'm not going in there like freaking like, oh my gosh, the mark on the beast. I'm like, if it's God's will for me to get this vaccine to help to support the movement of trying to subdue this vaccine, if it's in his will for that to happen, then I'm gonna do it. So yeah, so what you said, like I'm ashamed that is a thing. And if I'm wrong, like I said, time will tell. But again, it's like it's for me, it's utterly ridiculous. And like I said, like to the people who say, well, where's your faith, right? If you're getting the vaccine, and I don't like to debate and stuff, but same, where's your faith? Where's your faith if you feel your faith isn't strong enough to be like, what, God, help me in this situation. If I had to get this vaccine, let it be my faith that allows me to communicate and keep the whole thing. So it could be a good back and forth. But to that, what you mentioned, ridiculous. I, if you could see, if I could express how like wild that notion is, I could see why people in the faith would think that.
Yeah.
But it's like, fam, in that case, we missed the train. Like I said, like it's just like, oh, you gotta make me rant, bro. You make me fucking rant, man. Be like Kanye, bro. But again, I hope that made sense.
That
Uh,
makes sense.
for any fellow brothers and sisters who are listening, saying like, "Damn, bro, you just you made no sense." I apologize. I'm gonna be like, this, like, I apologize. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It won't
But no,
accept you at
yeah,
your church no more.
yeah. But again, that's my thing. I think it's at the end of the day, um, it's like I said, it's about helping others, keeping each other safe, and especially like, and I'll even bring this up again. I'm gonna cut it here, but I don't know if you've seen like there's even this whole like there's a certain in the I'll say I don't even I forgot his name, but he's prominent in I guess the Christian community. Like he's
Mhm.
come out in like movies and whatnot, and he held like a anti-mask rally. It was weird. It was like one of those. I just look at the TV and I'm like, come on,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a lot of people don't even like us, dude. And you're just like, like, so
Just
it's
making it worse.
like for me personally, not just like we wear a mask. It's
Yeah.
mandated. We're like, you can't come in unless you have it. unless obviously there's some type of paperwork you can, or if like I know
Yeah.
there's a certain age of child that don't need to wear it. But other than that, it's like it's not really. It's not about freaking like government. It's about keeping each other safe. That's what I want to. That's my main point. It's about keeping each other safe, and God willing that we all come out through this healthy. We've seen a lot of tragedy, but my prayer and my hope is that we come out this like I said in our last episode from last year. I hope we come out more knowledgeable, more caring, more loving for each other. Because as we can see at the beginning, remember the beginning of the pandemic when people were swinging on each other for freaking toilet paper. Imagine 10 years from now, the history books, how our great grandkids or whatever are gonna laugh at us like, yo, they were really swinging over toilet paper, bro. Why not just invest in a bidet? Like all that money you spent on toilet paper could have gone into a bidet. But yeah, I don't. Did that make sense to answer your question? I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, no, dude.
I kind of I feel like I rambled for a bit, but
Now you good, bro.
yeah, get all preachy on you, brother. Ah. No,
Not like
no, but
Theo
like
Von, bro.
Theo. Oh man, Theo Von. Shout out to Theo Von. That man. Um, but yeah, no, I guess hopefully I answer your question. Hopefully, maybe others who listen who have had that same question, who are also of the same faith or whatever. Like maybe they're
Yeah,
curious. Like what does it mean? Hopefully, this answers your question. But like I said, if you need to, search for yourself. Whether if it's like like just reflecting upon yourself and you just what you want to do, make your own decision. But like I said, research, reflect on it, whatever you have to do, as long as it's your decision, not influenced by everything, but rather you have conscious mind. Like I'm doing this to help others, or I'm not doing it because I don't feel comfortable. Okay, but other than that, do what you can to help each other. But yeah, man, damn, you set me off, dude. I'm trying to be chill today. I'm trying to be chilled out, man.
you got me.
Hey, you got me.
That's good. It's because you just reminded me of that because I mean we're talking about anti-vaxxers, bro.
Yeah.
I mean that they're part of that group.
No, I
Yeah, and you just made me remember that. I was like, I've been meaning to ask you that. Like even without the
yeah.
podcast, I've been meaning to ask you about that.
Yeah, no.
Like what you thought about it, and I was like, man, this is a perfect time. I was like, man,
It's a fair question. I think it is because I'm sure there are individuals there who would have said something who would rebuttal who in this moment rebuttal what I'm
yeah,
saying. Again, this is to my knowledge and my experience and my faith and my beliefs and my family and my church. So take it as you will. If you feel different, then God bless you. God bless your heart, as they say in the South. But yeah, no. So those are my thoughts on that. I think if you can clown and joke on anti-vaxxers, but it is worrying because if you can influence a group of people, because one thing is to be like I said anti-vax, but another thing is to promote it heavily, and not with facts, but rather just more of like the government, Big Brother, 1984. Have you read the book? It's happening, right? Or like in this case, the mark of the beast. Like it's troubling. It really is. But I my hopes and like I said, my prayers is that for the majority that we take into account the necessity that others may have in terms of health and the whole situation has been going down. And I get if we need another reason, like we're trying to go outside this year. We're trying to like be with one another again. If that maybe if the health isn't enough for you of others, maybe you want to hang out with your friends is. This would allow us to do that eventually, right? Like I said, it's not an insta kill, but it's more of like a bettering the situation that we're in right now. And it's gotten somewhat
slightly better.
better, like slightly. Like I may if we're using measurement millimeters, centimeters worth of bettering, but like I said, my hope is that if you can get vaccinated, go get it. It's free, and hopefully, once you get vaccinated, it brings some form of comfort, right? Not total like irresponsibility, right? But more of
Yeah,
comfort of like I feel more confident in my
stepping
health
out.
and yeah, and stepping up and doing my part in society. Um so yeah, man. I mean, did you have anything else you wanted anything else you wanted to ask me? Uh
Nah, that's it. That covered it.
in this philosophical talk of life, faith, and COVID. That should be a soundbite. Life, faith, and COVID. Um,
Welcome to Couch Potatoes.
Yo, but yeah, no, so, yeah, but I mean, it seems like we're like we got our message across on that.
Yeah.
I think we did. In other news, or I guess I'm bringing the mood down again, like I usually do. Well, no, no, actually, not really, because I want this to be more of like maybe we have a connection to this or not. Sure, if you are aware of pop culture and whatnot, pop culture news, legendary rapper artist, famously known as DMX, passed away. I believe. Oh my gosh, days are flying. Not this past week, but I think. Oh no, actually, yes.
It
Am
was
I
this
correct?
week, right? Wasn't it this
Was
week?
it? Should I do a Google search check,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
or, or do you think the government is
Yeah. Looking at
watching?
it.
Yeah, looking at DMX. Why are they searching that up? But yeah, no. But the thing is, the main tragedy is that he did in fact pass away.
Wait.
Um, April 9th, officially the official date of his passing. Um, yeah, I know. I mean, we kind of did like appreciate like if I can speak for the both of us, we're not like the biggest like yeah Rough Riders like DMX fan. We're not
Yeah.
like reciting lyrics, but I think because his presence is he was such a I guess a presence, right? That
Yeah.
you know of him. Like whether it was through his movies, uh oh, there's that one movie he did with Jet Li. I think, yeah, like way back. I
I
think it
don't
was
know.
like
I probably
I
seen
remember,
it. I don't remember it.
yeah, it was like one of those that they would show like on Telemundo, like in Spanish after
Yeah.
school or something. Or whether it was through his music, I like famously known as like the Rough Riders anthem. Everybody, if even if you don't know word for word, bar for bar, you have
You
heard of
know
it.
the
You
song.
know of
Yeah.
it. Uh, or like as I guess the word is virality on social media.
Yeah.
Like this man has lived, if some could say, a full life. Um,
So-
like there's a, I don't think I've seen Bruce. There's a famous video of him. I think it's Lollapalooza or a festival, and there's people like l- as far as I can see, just thousands upon thousands of human beings reciting his song back to him or
oh
parts
yeah,
of
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. No, I've seen the video.
Crazy. Like
And
that's
he had
insane.
complete control of them too. Like,
Yeah. Like if he wanted to bark, whoa, 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 like, I'm pretty sure he could have had him barking. Um, and yeah, whether it was through his music. So regardless, whether you're a hip hop fan or not, you somehow were were reached to by his presence. Um, so and I'll speak for myself, or I think I speak for both of us in the sense that it sucks because I guess you get not trend, but in a row of um impactful people's deaths, it almost feels like back to back. It's like, man, like, and death indeed is it's a part of life, but when it happens, almost, I guess you could say, like, it feels like out of nowhere. If we can go all the way back to, was it a year ago or no, a year ago, right? Kobe's death, passing, the tragic accident with his daughter Gigi, and the others on that helicopter flight,
yeah, it's
like that.
2019. Oh shit.
Was it 2019?
No,
No, right? No, no, so it was
no, it was
early
20.
2020.
Yeah, it was 2020 before
So a
the.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still it feels like what? And then obviously the tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman, who, like, I know for myself, well, being a fan of obviously the MCU, but also film in general, was like, damn, like we were just getting over this, losing this, I guess you could say, star, this legend, and now another hero's gone. Like it's crazy. And now for hip hop fans or who saw DMX as a hero, who was very public with his own, I guess you could call them spiritual battles, his own uh you know mental battles, you can also say or argue, I mean, not argue, but add in there. It's who inspired many, right, to keep fighting, to never let your head drop. It's a sad one. It's a very tragic one. And yeah, it, I know I always say, right, you're probably not gonna watch this, but you never know. But like we say, always condolences, to not just his family and those, because I think there was another podcast I saw. I think it was the Joe Budden one, when they were talking about how, like, if anything, you feel almost more hurt of how his family may be feeling, not necessarily him, because if like if you're aware of his struggles and his battles, you almost seem like he's resting, he's in a better place, finally put to rest. But now, being the ones on the outside, it's like we just lost a brother, a dad, an uncle, a cousin. It's like, what do we do without this star, this jewel in our crown? What do we do without him? So, condolences to his family, but even the fans, right? Because, like I said, whether you're super fan or not, one way or another, I'm sure you were, like, whether it was reciting Rough Riders anthem lyrics, or it was seeing him, if I think it was flipping pancakes at an IHOP for a day. Like, and there's footage. I think there's pictures or footage that on
I
Twitter
think
too. I saw.
one of the ones that always comes around is like the Christmas one when he sings
Oh yeah,
Rudolph the Red
yeah.
Rudolph the Red
Rudolph
Nose
the Red
Reindeer.
Nose,
Yeah.
classic, instant classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah.
But yeah. No. So it's. I
DMX man.
think. Yeah, it's okay to hurt. I think a lot of times we're like, it was a celebrity. I didn't know him, so I don't need to cry or whatever. No, you can. If he somehow touched your life in a certain through certain path, through certain medium, I think it's okay to feel sad, tragic. Because at the end, people think, oh, celebrity, right? Star never falls or whatever. But at the end of the day, they're just humans like the rest of us. They just happen to be uber talented at something else than most of the human beings. Um, so like I say, it sucks. It sucks to see this. Um, but like they say, legends never die. So I'm sure, and I think if there's anything positive that comes out of it, it's like the continuous outpouring of like stories and videos and pictures of, like I said, DMX lived a very full life
Yeah.
based on what we've seen and read. So I look forward to seeing more. I think one of my favorite videos is when he's with that slingshot ride, when they just throw him up in the air. It's like, and
I
he's
think I've
being
seen that one.
daughter. Oh, yeah, I'll send it to you later. Oh, and there's also one of him and some dude, and they're like, we got, like, it's gold. It's perfect. But again, it just shows you, like, at the end of the day, behind who we know is like DMX, like, yeah, like, whoa, like, like that guy. There was a dad. There was a man who had his struggles, overcame them, may have struggled again, but still, at the end of the day, left us with a lot of good, a lot of greatness. So yeah, no, rest in power, DMX. Don't worry, I'm not gonna cry this time, guys. Don't worry, I ain't gonna tear up. You ain't gonna see me cry or nothing. It's okay. I'm just a passionate person. That's it. Um, but yeah, moving on. I want to end on a lighter note, or maybe for some, this is more of a also a tragic thing of to happen. But the Fast and Furious franchise is, as I'm sure a lot of you know, as Bruce now knows, is releasing or soon releasing the ninth installation in the Fast franchise. Before I move on, Bruce, how do you feel, buddy? What are your
That's too
thoughts?
much, bro. I think they should have cut it off. Uh I don't even, honestly, bro, I stopped watching them because it was just too much. I think I stopped before, you know you know, you guys haven't watched any, spoiler alert, you
Oh,
know what I
so
mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
spoiler. Yeah, I guess.
When Letty, I think that's her name, she loses her memory, and then
It's
she's going against the whole team.
oh my gosh. Um,
I think I didn't see that one. After that, I think
was
I
that
didn't know
five?
I didn't know which one that was, bro. Honestly,
Let me see. I'm Google research.
I saw first, I saw the second one, I saw Tokyo Drift, and I think I saw one more after that, and that's it.
What the heck? Sorry, I was searching up Fast and something, and what popped up was Fast and Fierce. Death Race. Have you seen the original Death Race movie?
Oh yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah. That's what.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
isn't that
with
when they're in
Jason
prison?
Statham. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yes, you
Well,
know.
this one says Fast and Fierce Death Race, and it stars, or one of the stars is, or maybe co-stars is DMX himself. So
Oh shit.
cool. I might check that out just for
Damn.
DMX himself. Yes. But yeah, no, let me search up because I will say this. Part of me was like, this is so ridiculous, but I kind of like that. I kind of like how it's like I. Here's the thing:
Hasta
if they
luego.
were to, yeah, I want them like, because it, like they're flying from building to building. Like, is that physically possible? I don't know if it's ever been tried. I don't think it is. But if it's ever attempted,
They're falling off of trucks,
cool.
bro. What the fuck?
Rolling off at like 90
On
mile
concrete.
per hour. Yeah, it's
Unscathed, bro.
let's see. So those the Fast and Furious. That's the first one. Too Fast, Too Furious, which I think is a good one. I think it's underrated. I think
Yeah.
it's a fun one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turbocharged. What is that? What? It's
Turbocharged. I don't think you on the franchise.
no, it says the Turbocharged Prelude for Too Fast, Too Furious is a 2003 American short film. It is the first short film in the Fast and Furious franchise and stars Paul Walker. Huh? I gotta check that out. I gotta check it out. If I find it, I'll send it to you. Yeah, it just popped up right here. All right,
Hmm.
so then Too Fast and Furious, and then the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift,
Yeah.
which I think is aesthetically was probably one of the coolest ones.
Yeah.
Cool
It
cars and
was.
everything.
That's
And then
three.
there's Fast and Furious. I think this is my favorite one. Is
Is
this
that
when
the
they go
one
to
where Dwayne Johnson comes out? The fourth one?
hold on, I'm checking it out, checking it out.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Hold on, let me see. Hold on. What is Fast and Furious 4 called?
Numéro 4.
Because it's so, like you said, there's so many. Oh, that is the fourth one. But I don't think
With Dwayne Johnson?
no. So Dwayne Johnson comes out in Fast Five. That's when they're in Brazil.
That's
That's
the last. That's the last
yeah.
one I saw.
That's my favorite one because that's when it's still about the cars, but they're teetering on the like. Come on, dog. Like no
Wait,
way.
which one's four?
Four is the one you said, the one with Letty. I think when she loses her memory.
Nah.
No, is it? Yeah, it has to be.
Well, I didn't see that one then.
Oh no, 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 no. I'm lying. I'm lying to you, bro.
Yeah.
I think fat. No, yeah. So that one.
Is that when they go to Dubai?
No, that's six. I think.
What the fuck?
Bro, there's so many. I don't know. I don't even. I lost track. But the fact is, okay, it seems to be like you stopped after five, for
Yeah.
sure.
I saw some.
But,
I don't know. Maybe I saw clips here and there like about the other movies, but
five is my favorite because that's when they're in Brazil and then they have the whole scene with the vaults and the driving. So whoever's watching this, correct me if I'm wrong. If you're a bigger fan, whatever. So the scene with the vaults, like flipping and all that, that is not all. That's not CGI. There were actually two guys. Oh, obviously in each. So they what they did is they got trucks, took them apart, and then put the thing on top. Still steel or whatever, heavy metal. So what they did is, I'm sure like their effects when it rolls and stuff.
yeah.
But if I'm correct, so obviously they had stunt drivers in the two cars that Dom and Brian are in. Driving around the city. Um, but the two vaults are actually two drivers, one in the other. They're actually driving too. Like
Oh
it's
shit.
actual stunt. Yeah, they're actually doing
Yeah.
the real thing. So it's not totally. That's why I still enjoy that movie. Once you get to six, that's when it's like, we might be going to space. We might hit a satellite or something. We might hit a satellite. We might go to Mars or something. Um, but yeah, but for me, Fast Five is my favorite because it's a balance. It's like okay, we still have the cars, the race culture, whatever. But then is a little ridiculous. I for me, that movie is a dope heist movie that just happens to have family. Um, which is also for me like that's the thing where I it's weird for me because like you said, right, it just gets more and more ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um, I like that they don't take themselves too seriously in the sense that if we're gonna go big, let's go big. If it means a submarine, or like driving cars out of a plane, landing with parachutes, let's do it. If it's in the budget, let's do it. But I always find it funny how at the end of the day, it's what it's all about. Not about the cars, not about the girls, not about the money, not about the hot man or whatever. It's about family, bro. Family values. That's what it's all about, man. I
Oh
think
man,
that's what people are missing. I think that's what you're missing. I think that's why I don't like watching them, is because you're missing the true point, dude. Family.
maybe I'm
At the
missing
end of the day,
the main lessons in the movies, bro.
at the end of the day, when all the buildings have been destroyed, when all the cars have been wrecked, you know what's left? Family. You family, dude. That's oh my gosh. You
You
know,
know what's one
I'm
of the
making
funniest parts for me, bro?
what is it? What is
I
that?
think it has to be when The Rock like crushes his cast. He's all broken, right? And he gets up and he goes, or like I don't know what he does, and it just like crushes the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Look, man, that's when you know that we're not in a and we're not in Los Angeles anymore. This is
Oh
not
my
an
god,
LA race film. This is the real deal.
there's helicopters and
Yeah,
whole parking structure
rockets.
falls down or something, bro.
Yeah, that's right. And he survives,
And they
right?
getting yeah, they fighting with pipes. They don't even get knocked out. They just take
Yeah,
them.
it's like just
They eat the hits, bro. Boom. Oh, what? Pop, pop. Like
you
what?
know what? This is my argument towards that. Dom Toretto, right? Maker.
It's
This
a movie,
man,
bro.
he no, actually, hold on. He should be dead, right? Based on physics and health and trauma and physical trauma. He should be dead. Or at least very hurt and still recovering. But you know what keeps him almost borderline invincible?
Family.
Family, dude. Family. Not now you're getting it. Now you're understanding it, bro. Family. That's the key to all this. Why do you think these movies keep going? Family.
Family.
Now you see now you starting to understand, bro? Family. That's what keeping this franchise. That's what's keeping this franchise together.
That's funny, bro.
Um, it's great, bro. It's okay, bro. The kids aren't there. You know why? You know I'm not gonna hurt you. Family, family, dude.
Tell you, bro.
Um, yeah, no, it's there. The film. I think after Fast Five, like some people say that one's already ridiculous. I think it's just a really dope heist movie. Um, but beyond that, yeah, it becomes like borderline, not yeah, fantasy sci-fi. Like it just
Yeah.
happens to be a bunch of regular people in cars. Well, not really regular, because they're all superhumans powered by the power of love and family. Um, uh, the power of family, bro. I'm telling you, it's strong,
Yeah.
very strong, man.
So they're not regular humans. Yeah,
Then, I mean, I mean, the Power Family has allowed this franchise to get to 9 movies and a 10th one. I think there's 10 in the contract. This last
yeah, I think
contract they
that's
signed.
impressive, honestly, bro. The fact that they've gotten to 9 and they're still hitting good numbers, I assume, for them to keep making more.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I need to.
good to them,
I need
bro.
to
Good to the writers.
get. Yeah,
Good to the
money.
actors, bro. Because
They're
they're coming back for each movie, bro. Getting that
yeah,
moolah.
yeah. And I think you know what it is. Um, I think part of what made it just really jump off was I don't want to get dark, but maybe maybe because I think what made it kind of just jump in the air was the passing of Paul Walker. I think because his character Brian is almost like that's us. That's like we're kind of like yeah we see Dom, we see like the Family Guy, but we start the series following Brian. Like that's our dude,
That's true.
Paul Walker. That his character.
Yeah,
You know, mate. Some of you listening, like, man, you're crazy. This is just my
that's
analysis.
true. We did
I
follow. Yeah, he was the first
yeah,
one.
we
Yeah,
followed
because
him, and
I
I
remember for Tokyo Drift when I didn't see Paul, I was like, "Hey man, where's this guy at?" I was like,
yeah,
I thought it was all about him.
exactly,
Yeah, I was
yeah,
like, and I saw that white boy right, and I was like, "Don't tell me they replaced him for him, bro." And then
yeah,
they said his name, and I was like, "Oh, that's not him." I was like, "All right,
yeah. No, no. So I think what happened is, and again, this is just my theory. I could be totally wrong. I think why they just really wanted to go all out was to kind of help you not forget, but not feel the void of his character. Hence, you remembering that this beloved actor also passed away. So again, in that case, that makes the producers and everybody behind this the most caring and sweetest human beings to their fans. And maybe it was part of it, but I don't know. That's just me. I think part of why they just get so ridiculous is like, well, they have the budget for it, but firstly, and most importantly, is that we're missing if essentially the heart of the series, the heart of the franchise, and how not we don't want to help the fans forget, but rather kind of not dwell on his tragic passing, but instead enjoy what his legacy has now pushed onto nine, or I think three more, if I'm correct. I don't know. I forgot if he passed um on the sixth one or I forgot. It's been so long. But again, that's my theory. I could be totally wrong. We could do a whole podcast series just based off these movies, trying to break down like
Each
what is
one.
going on. Yeah, we could break down the whole movie. We should probably do that. That'd be a good idea. I'm putting that in my notes. Um, break down every fast
break down
movie
break down every what's it called?
or every
Any
character.
any series, no bro, any series of movies that there are of like,
Oh,
there's Harry Potter, there's
yeah, 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 yeah.
that one has like eight, bro.
We just come up with
Fast
lazy
and
or just
Furious.
ridiculous conclusions. Like, oh, dude. Like, there's somebody joking. Oh, this was a statement. I don't think it was official. I think it was just kind of a throwaway. That there's a possibility. There's been talks, or there's been kind of like uh, kind of not throwing away the idea of a Fast and Furious universe clashing with the Jurassic World universe because they're both under Universal. So they're in the production company. So I mean, dude, okay, I'm about to pitch this. I'm about to give it to them for
Wait,
free.
so like you read this, that this might be a possibility?
Well, I saw a statement. No, that's what I'm saying. It could have been a throwaway from somebody, trying to create something.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But if it is true, this is how you could start the movie. All right, it'd be called like what would you call that? How about this? Let's spend the last couple minutes titling this movie. Come on, what would you title it? Like it's official, like the characters are coming back, but and I'll give you the. How about this? You think about it while I give you the plot.
Uh,
So I forget the characters from Jurassic World, but Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard.
yeah.
Those are the actors' names. But imagine them, right? They're struggling because now the dinosaurs are out. Have you seen Jurassic World 2 or no?
Nah, I haven't. I want to though. I need to.
Oh,
I
I
need
just
to watch
spoiled
it.
it. I'm so sorry.
What did you say?
Oh, you didn't hear me?
I didn't hear you.
All right, cover yours real quick.
Ah, come on, bro. Hurry
All
up.
right, so imagine this. No,
I
hey,
can't
you
hear
know,
you.
I'm just gonna spoil it, bro. I'm sorry. I'm gonna
I go
spoil
for
it.
it. Fuck it.
It's still. I think you should still watch it
Yeah.
because the ending you'll be kind of like, what the hell?
All right,
But
go, go,
still,
go.
so the dinosaurs are in the world now. They're out in public. They've been released.
They
Yeah,
make it?
but you'll see the way it happens. You're like, really? I did that in the theater. I was like, really? In my head, I didn't do it because I was on a date or whatever. But in my head, I was like, come on. I was like, get out of here. But fast forward to okay, so the dinosaurs on the loose. Chris Pratt's character, Bryce Dallas Howard. I'm just call her Bryce. They're struggling. How do we catch them? Dinosaurs. Okay, so then it cuts to a part where they're trying to capture a T Rex, like not the main T Rex, but one of them. I don't know how many T Rexes are, but a big dinosaur. They're like, oh my gosh, what do we do? Right? They're struggling. They're about to die. This is it. All of a sudden, you just see a hook or something, a wire, capture all four legs of this big dinosaur, and you just see it pull. And then this is all you hear. It looks like you needed some help. Rolls in, Dom. Rolls in, Tyrese's character. Rolls in Ludacris. Rolls in Letty. Rolls in everybody. You know
Oh my
what? And
god, bro.
and guess what? Because this is probably gonna happen in the Fast Nine, because they show that Dom has a brother that we haven't known apparently for the past
Nine
eight
movies.
movies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nine movies. So guess what? Because I'm sure in Fast Nine, if there, I mean, is a 50-50 shot, but there's a strong 50% chance this will happen. That as bad as his brother is, he's like, I know you failed in your mission to kill millions of people, but we still family. Like they're gonna do something like that, or he's gonna
And they're gonna
sacrifice.
hug it out.
Yeah, they're gonna hug it out. Like now, no, now you're a part of the family. Like it's gonna be something wild. It's gonna be something crazy. So it's gonna be.
You're probably right
so,
too.
so yeah, so rolls in this new scene in the opening of. So think about the name, bro. Think of the name. Rolls in this new scene. John Cena's there too. Like everybody's there. And they're like, it seems like you needed a bit of help. with the dinos or something like catchy or something. I'm like, oh brother, this guy stinks. Like it'd be that. Um, but yeah, so that'd be my opening. It'd be like, oh my gosh, we're gonna. I forgot his name, Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt, we're gonna die, and then and then like yeah, they're gonna hack it to a satellite, track all, and then and it's gonna be a race against time or something, where like they split up into teams, and they all like there's different group. We got to capture the velociraptors. We got to capture the uh bronchiosaurus, the freaking pterodactyls, and the biggest one is we have to capture the T-Rex. That's gonna
Hey,
be the
bro.
final
Hey,
boss
they're gonna
fight.
steal your idea, bro.
If they do, I want some credit. I don't care. I mean, I want some money. I hope, but I would want some credit. I'm trying to get into the industry, so a credit would be nice. Um, but yeah, I could see. I mean, what would we call it?
I've been racking my brain to find a name for it.
Something obviously Jurassic has to be in there for sure, but there has to be a way to include Fast or Furious, like
Jurassic
cleverly.
Drift.
Oh,
Jurassic.
Jurassic Drift. That's genius. Oh, that could work. Oh my gosh. I think you just came up with a name, bud. Jurassic Drift. And you know what? And make it even better, we're gonna include all the characters from the Tokyo Drift series, the movie. Bow Wow, the guy who we thought was gonna replace Brian. Like, yeah, Han, obviously, if he's still alive after 9, because somehow he survived that explosion in the car. Like, like I thought it was cool the way they tied in the Han death with like Jason Statham's character, how he caused
Yeah,
it. But to bring him back, like I was like, what? And it felt kind of lazy because I'm like, you should have saved that for the movie. Don't show it in the trailer.
yeah.
Like, imagine how everybody in the theater, like, hey, you got a nice hangout spot or whatever. And it's Han. And it's like, what the frick? We thought he was dead. And then they explain it. But now it's like, oh, the surprise is gone.
Like, oh, Han's back.
Un- unless through the power of family, they were able to
They
clone him.
resurrected him, bro.
Or they were no, but yeah, or or they cloned him via technology used in what movie series? In what movie series? Jurassic World. It all ties in, dude. Oh my gosh. Universal, if you're hearing this, just give your boy a shout. I'll be happy. I'll be glad to have a meeting with me and my partner here. Jurassic Drift. I like that name. Because it's a drift. In society, in the world. Jurassic. The Jurassic era is coming over. Like it's. I like it, bro. I'm confident with this idea. Crazy, huh? Do you think this would be a movie that anti-vaxxers would watch? I don't know. I don't think they would. I don't know. I think they would. Or maybe not. I don't know.
You're a clown,
You know
bro.
what? I think that's a good note to end it on. You know,
On Jurassic Drift.
Jurassic Drift.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? This episode was kind of. I think it's a good episode. I think it worked out. We went from serious to unfortunate, but positive to now just outright ridiculous. Kind of pretty much like the Fast and Furious franchise. We kind of followed. We kind of followed that formula. So hey, wow. See, you know what? Maybe they are. Maybe we do take their movie franchise for granted, bro. Maybe they have more influence than we think. They do. Insane, man. Gosh, clones, Jurassic Drift. God, I'm so excited, man. I hope this really happens. I hope they really. You know
Not even
what?
a real movie. Like, I'm excited for it,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm excited
I'd
for it. I
watch it.
really hope it happens. I mean, why not? Just do it. Just let the 10th one be so ridiculous that it's like I'm glad they did it because they at that point they're like, this is the last one. Let's end it with a literal bang. And yeah, with blowing up a T-Rex, that's probably gonna end. Um, but as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. Bruce and I, thank you so much for your support. Remember, we thank you so much for getting us past 100 subscribers. That was our goal last year. We met it right essentially on the deadline. Do we have to beg? A little bit. It's okay though. Whatever the grind requires, or as Dom would say, family. And like, and you know what? Here in Couch Potatoes and in the Couch Potatoes fandom in our universe, we are all family. powered by the love,
It's good.
powered by the greatness or power of love and family. We're on this together. So if you take anything away from this, I think we all need to, in terms of caring for each other, the vaccine, COVID, mask wearing. Let's be a little bit more like Dom Toretto, family. Let's uh, let's all be good to one another. That being said, we appreciate you guys. Notifications, turn them on because we're releasing every week, and we may have some stuff coming soon. Who knows? We never know. Um, Oh, how could I forget? I should announce him.
All
Also, announcement. We have a new team member.
right.
Yeah, I should have said it. No, I think it's a perfect place because we're talking about family. Uh, new team member, definite friend of the show. He's been on here many times, but officially welcome. We welcome Hector to the squad. If you haven't seen him, watch him. There's plenty of episodes to watch with him on. They're always great. And we thought, you know what? Why not include him? He brings a great energy. We've had conversations, and we're excited to. Oh, Bruce is about to fight the kids with the baseball bats. Um, we're excited to have him on officially on the team, and we look forward to, and we hope you guys also look forward to having him on the show more often. That being said, as we have always said, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. I want to do it as slow as possible so I get Bruce in the frame. Shout out to Zendaya. Shout out to Gilly the Answer. Hey, we still need that battle to happen, dude.
Whew,
Billy
sorry.
the Question is ready.
Sorry. I had to scare them kids away, bro. They're getting a little too close. I had to grab
With
my
the
own bat.
no, see, well, yeah, but you grabbed it, but then you thought instead of swinging, I'll scare them with the power of family. That's why they're attacking because they don't realize the power of family is greater than violence, bro. It's greater than crashing a car through two buildings, than breaking a cast with the single clench of your arm. All these characters should have some type of head trauma for sure. The bare minimum, brain damage. Oh, maybe except Ludacris, because
Luda.
he's like the tech guy, so he's always kind of behind the scenes. We'll see though. Yeah. Any shout outs you want to give? I know. Oh, shout out to Candace Parker. No specific reason, just because you're great. If you're watching this, she's a basketball player. She's just great. She's dope. Champion. But yeah, any shout outs, Bruce, you want to give? Any shout outs?
Nah. Shout out to everybody. Just,
Yeah.
keep doing your thing.
All right.
Um,
Fair enough.
get the vaccine though. Get the
Yes.
vaccine.
And yeah, and my final shout out is to the man himself, Mr. Was it Billy the Question, the Brown Stallion. Bruce, everybody. It's his birthday today. If you're watching
The
this, it
brown
already have been his
stallion, bro.
birthday. But but it is Bruce's birthday. I would play or sing the happy birthday song, but I don't know if that'll get us copyrighted or something. I don't know how these
No,
laws
no,
work,
don't do it.
these rules.
Don't do it.
But happy birthday to you. I'll just do the ending. But yeah, I'll add some cheers like I did with Amanda's episode. But yeah, it's Bruce's birthday. He's finally 36. It's so great to have him. Gosh, man, what does it feel like? 36, the big 3-6, huh?
It's kind of scary, dude. I'm getting closer to 40. You know, damn, bro. I can
Yeah.
feel it in my knees. I can feel it in my back. You know,
Hey, man, if
it all aches. It all cracks.
if Dom could survive his injuries, I'm sure you can
Hey,
make it.
man. Hey. He's got a power, bro, that I don't. Not yet, at least. You know?
He said not yet, at least. Well, you need to get on that 36-year-old. I wonder if people really believe that. If you can guess his age, if you can guess his age correctly,
He looks 36.
damn, damn.
That
Um,
bit,
yeah, guess his age correctly, and you'll get a signed autograph picture from him. But yeah, otherwise that's it, right? No more house cleaning, no more
nah,
notifications,
nah, I
updates.
think that's it. We good.
All right, then, y'all. As always, subscribe. Stay tuned for more. We'll see you in the next episode. We love y'all. Stay fat with the PH, and God bless.